Hello, guys. Good afternoon.
Hi, teacher.
Hi again, teacher.
Good afternoon.
Hi again. Okay. I'm going to make the roll call. Sí, voy a pasar lista, ¿va? Ok. Camino Contreras.
Present.
Muy bien. Campos Vázquez.
Here.
Ok. Cedillo Delgado.
Present.
De la Cruz López.
Here, teacher.
Galván Mijangos.
Present, teacher.
García Gutiérrez.
Present, teacher.
García López.
Present, teacher.
Hernández Martínez. Iglesias Arias. Martínez Maján.
Present, teacher.
Molina Cruz.
Here, teacher.
Moreno Cortés.
Present, teacher.
Nava Moctezuma.
Here, teacher.
Pacheco Miranda.
Here, teacher.
Ramírez Santiago.
Present, teacher.
Reséndiz Chávez. Reyes Contreras.
Present, teacher.
Rodríguez Mejía. Ruiz Mina. Salazar Pérez.
Present.
Suárez Vargas.
Present, teacher.
Valdés Mora.
Present, teacher.
Muy bien. Uy, sí faltaron muchos. Ahora vamos a ver. ¿Quién es en la lista de espera? Acá. Hernández Martínez. Iglesias Arias. Reséndiz Chávez.
Present, teacher.
Ok, perdón. Y Rodríguez Mejía. Ruiz Mina. Muy bien. Bueno, pues vamos a comenzar. Dejo de compartir porque nunca puedo abrir mi libro cuando comparto. A ver. Muy bien. En la clase de hace 2 horas, sí, fue hace 2 horas, una, dos, sí, hace 3 horas más o menos, pues ya di la clase de lo que fue la clase extra que les debía. Esa clase ya está en el canal de donde les subo todos los videos, en todas las grabaciones de las clases. Se llama clase 16. Está dividida igual en dos, parte 1 y parte 2. La parte 2 no dura tanto, dura como 10 minutos más o menos, pero igual, pues ahí está para que los que no pudieron asistir en el horario establecido, pues lo vean. Otra cosa que también les mencioné es que yo les había dicho que las clases eran de 2 a 3 y de 3 a 4. La de 2 a 3 ya no, pues la quise dar porque también en el otro grupo donde les debía una clase, les di, no me acuerdo cuántas clases, les di la clase de 11 a 2, de 10 a 11 y también la opción de 1 a 2, pero pues nadie se conectó a la de 1 a 2. Entonces dije, no, mejor nada más doy un horario y quien no puede entrar, pues ve la clase en el canal, ¿no? Esta clase que a ustedes les di es más extra que reposición, porque pues les di vocabulario, les di consejos de cómo hablar un poquito más fluido en inglés, cómo no pensar en español, les di incluso hasta un link oficial donde podían consultar ¿cómo se llama? Las definiciones originales de Cambridge. Entonces, pues ese es el diccionario en el cual se basa el idioma. Entonces, pues por eso se los pasé. Y pues bueno, no, no vimos nada nuevo. No, bueno, quién sabe, en esta parte del vocabulario, no estoy seguro si lo voy a poner en el examen o no. Bueno, más bien, ya sé que voy a poner en el examen, pero el vocabulario, solamente voy a poner un vocabulario de todos los que hemos visto. Una, dos, tres, cuatro, van a ser solamente 4 temas de vocabulario. De esos 4, yo escogí uno y lo puse en el examen, ¿de acuerdo? Pero de modo que ustedes estudien todo el vocabulario, me voy a abstener de decirles para que ustedes estudien todo y ya cuando vean el vocabulario correspondiente, pues ya lo sepan, ¿vale? Eh, mm, ok, Luis Mina, gracias por decirme, déjate pongo tu asistencia. Eh, ahí está. Entonces, el día de hoy, hace rato, hicimos una dinámica de reading, en la cual consistía en leer lo más rápido que pudiesen, y quien leyera lo más rápido, pero con buena dicción, era quien ganaba. ¿Ganaba qué? Es lo que les voy a decir, ¿vale? Entonces, vamos a abrir nuestro Students Book, ¿ok? Let's open our Students Book, please, as always. And we are going to read on page 20. Okay, this is a new reading. This is a new page. Okay, it's going to be a new one. Va a ser uno nuevo. Cierto, también en la clase extra les di técnicas de reading, 2 técnicas que son muy útiles, y funcionan a la perfección para sus exámenes y demás. Entonces, vean el video para que puedan, puedan saber de cuáles hablo, el skimming y el scanning. Ok, bueno, entonces tenemos aquí nuestro texto. Okay, we have here our text, and we have here the title, which is Not the Best Interview I've Ever Had. Most people feel nervous when they go for a job interview, but some interviews are worse than others. Fortunately, they don't all end in disaster. Entonces, bueno, este es como el subtítulo. Y lo que a nosotros nos interesa leer son estos párrafos, el A, el B, el C y el D. Ahora, ¿quién quiere leer el párrafo A?
Me, teacher.
Ok, nada, Manuel. ¿Quién quiere leer el párrafo B? A ver, ya vi quién está alzó la mano.
Me.
Fernanda Molina va a leer el B, Paulina va a leer el C y Jessica Galván va a leer D. ¿Ok? Bueno. Okay, I'm going to explain this in English. Let's check if you understand it. Okay, the instructions are going to be a little bit different today. You already know that we are just reading texts. First, you read it out loud, then I read it by myself. Then when we finish read it, we are going to have a discussion about the vocabulary or phrases that we don't understand on the text, okay? But in this case, it's gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be the same. You are going to read it, and I'm going to read by myself. Then we are going to discuss the vocabulary. But when you are going to read it, okay, when you read your part, you are going to read it as fast as you can, okay? Don't respect periods, commas, or pauses. You just will read your part of your text, which is your paragraph, as fast as you can. Okay. For example, if my turn is to read the paragraph letter D, I'm going to say, I had a job interview with 2 people last week. One of them was learning back on his chair when suddenly it fell right back and it was so clear that he couldn't get up again. So I read it quickly. Perhaps you are not going to read it that quickly, I know, but you are going to read it as fast as you can, okay? And with correct pronunciation, try to pronounce the words correctly, okay? So if the person who reads quicker and clearer is going to have the 16 points of the speaking. Okay. So before
Apagó su micrófono.
yes, I know. Before I start off, let me look for okay. Okay, now, did you understand the instructions? Guys, yes, I'm sorry if I don't hear you sometimes, but right now my internet is not, it doesn't have a good connection, but yes, did you understand me? Or
Yes,
not?
teacher.
Yes.
Okay, so please, letter A. Who wants to read letter, well, who was going to read letter A? Now, Manuel, okay,
Me,
please.
teacher. Yes. Okay. They wanted to test how fast I could type. My fingers were over the keyboard, ready to type. The interview said right click to open the file, but I heard was right click. So I typed click on a window that was already open. Said embarrassed when I realized my mistake, but we would load and I got the job. If work the 4 months, no.
Okay, very good. You read it quickly, okay? Okay, and letter B.
Me, teacher.
Please.
I've never forgotten to switch my phone of the cinema, but for some reason I forgot when I went. I went for my first job interview. My friend phoned me to wish me luck. Right in the middle.
Okay. Okay, very good.
And
I'm seeing that you were like missing breath. So.
yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay, letter C.
Me. I have a lot of... Ay, no, me voy a trabar mucho.
No, don't worry. As fast as you can, not as fast as I want.
I had good interviews, but this one was disaster. I had put my CV that I could speak some French. I learned some French at school, but I never really used it. Used it, and my listening skills are really bad. The three interviewers began the interview by speaking to me in French, and I didn't understand a word. No, I did no job and be done.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, and letter D, please.
Yes, teacher. I had a job interview with 2 people last week. One of them was learning back on his chair when suddenly
Yes,
it fell right back and it was so clear that he couldn't get up again. I didn't know if I should try to help or not, and I was worried I was going to start logging. Fortunately, the other interviewer asked me to wait outside the room for a minute, and then the interview carried on as if nothing had happened. Guess what? They've just offered me the job. Ellie.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Okay, and you can notice that, oh well, remember when you were in basic 1, basic 2, and you didn't read it that well actually, or well, I don't know if you read it that well before this class, but sometimes when we encouraged ourselves to speak or to read out loud something quickly, we notice that we are capable of of reading a text very quickly, or even we are capable of speaking with a certain fluency, okay? Because sometimes we are not used to reading something out loud and that quick, because sometimes we say, okay, I'm gonna read it calm down, and I'm gonna read it because nobody is putting me under pressure or something like that. But in this case, as you saw yourselves bound to read this text quickly, ¿ok? Como se sintieron obligados, o bueno, más bien, más que obligados, como fue algo que debían hacer, pues ahora ya lo pudieron leer más rápido, ¿ok? Sin pensarlo. E incluso hasta quien dijo que no, es que me voy a trabar, lo leyó más rápido de lo normal. Y se los digo porque yo a veces he escuchado que a veces ustedes leen, I've never forgotten to switch my phone when the cinema. But entonces, pues como que así no. Y incluso, de hecho, esta dinámica fue más rápida que las anteriores cuando hemos leído otros textos, ¿se dan cuenta? Entonces, ahí también da a entender que fue rápido. Esto los ayuda mucho a mejorar su pronunciación, ¿de acuerdo? Y a mejorar su fluidez. Esto es lo que les digo que hagan, pero con sus propias oraciones escritas que ustedes hayan creado, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces, pues esto es una muy buena técnica y pues yo creo que desde ahorita pueden soltar su speaking con ese tipo de ejercicios. Muy bien. Okay, guys. So in this case, do you have any questions about the vocabulary? For example, in the paragraph letter A. Nope. Paragraph letter C. No, letter B. Sorry, letter B. So you already know what is switch, what switch is. This
Teacher,
one. Sorry?
I don't remember what is launched in the first paragraph.
What one? Which one?
Launched.
Ah, loved. Okay, in this case, we have L-A-U-G-H-E-D. That one, right?
Yes.
Okay, it is pronounced laughed. Okay, laugh. The G with the dot with the H is pronounced like F. Laugh, and it's laughed, and it's reír in past. Okay, we both laughed. Ambos reímos.
Teacher, how do you say is keyboard or keyboard?
Oh, keyword. When you say, in this case, keyboard, no se pronuncia la E, nada más se va directamente con la I. Keyboard.
Keyboard. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? About pronunciation, even, if you want?
Teacher, what is CP?
Sorry?
What is CP?
CV is curriculum vitae. CV, it's curriculum. And even if you want to say resume, it's also acceptable, okay? And it is written like this. Wait a moment. Resume, okay, which is curriculum. Okay, any other? Okay, so let's read it. Let's read it with the correct pronunciation, okay? Well, not the best interview I've ever had. Most people feel nervous when they go for a job interview, but some interviews are worse than others. Fortunately, they don't all end in disaster. A. They wanted to test how fast I could type. My fingers were over the keyboard ready to type. The interviewer said, right-click to open the file. But all I heard was right-click, so I typed click on a window that was already open. I felt so embarrassed when I realized my mistake, but we both laughed and I got the job. I've worked here for 8 months now. Even if you let's make a pause. If you notice here, even native speakers don't have the best listening sometimes. B, I've never forgotten to switch my phone off in the cinema, but for some reason I forgot when I went for my first job interview. My friend phoned me to wish me good luck right in the middle of the interview. Oops, I didn't get the job. C, I've had lots of good interviews, but this one was a disaster. I had put on my CV that I could speak some French. I learned French at school, but I've never really used it, and my listening skills are really bad. The three interviewers began the interview by speaking to me in French, and I didn't understand a word. No, I didn't get the job, and yes, I've changed my CV. Then, D, I had a job interview with two people last week. One of them was leaning back on his chair when suddenly it fell right back and it was soon clear that he couldn't get up again. I didn't know if I should try to help or not, and I was worried I was going to start laughing. Fortunately, the other interviewer asked me to wait outside the room for a minute, and then the interview carried on as if nothing had happened. Guess what? They've just offered me the job. Okay. Okay, it's kind of funny, but this is the way how we pronounce the words. Okay. So if you don't have any other comments, any other question about this text, let's go with vocabulary about job, about work. Okay. So we just saw this text, this little text, which was like just an introduction for the vocabulary. Okay. Okay, we have here some sentences, okay? Hundreds of people applied for a job, but only 6 candidates were invited for a job interview, okay? So in this case, we are not going to do this exercise, exercise 2A, match the pictures with the sentences, no. Okay, we are going to focus on the definition as I was saying on the last class. On the last class, I was saying that you have to learn if you don't want to translate the words because a lot of teachers tell you not to translate the words. Try to look for the definition, okay? If there is not a picture that can describe the meaning of the word, try to look for the definition. Okay. In this case, we have these definitions, match the words in bold 2A with these meanings 1 to 10. So we have here 10 definitions. Okay. The first definition says the jobs you do during your working life. Number 2, people you know who might be able to help your career. Number 3, contacted a company asking for a job. Number 4, people who work for a company. Number 5, the results of your exams at school or university. And number 6, the things you know from experience or study. And so on. We have 7, people who are trying to get a job. Number 8, responsible for something or someone. Number 9, the people that you work for. And number 10, a document which describes your education and the jobs you have done. Okay. So we have already here these sentences. If you have any doubt with the vocabulary or with any meaning of these sentences, you can ask right now so that you can understand the definitions. Okay, but we will have to match every single word in both with the definitions, okay? Or at least try to, for example, you already know the word career, or the word grade, the word CV, okay? but perhaps you don't know the word knowledge. So you have to try to understand, okay? So for example, Andy, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, applied for. Applied for. What do you think is the definition in here?
Okay, just a moment. Maybe is the number 3, contact a company asking for a job.
Exactly. Number 3, contact. That to apply for is to contact a company asking for a job. Okay, that's apply for. Okay, when you even you can call and say, do you happen to have a vacancy for, I don't know, how do you say this? I forgot the meaning of this word. Barista or something like that. Okay. Do you happen to have a vacancy for shop assistant? Okay. So you're going to call and you are applying for the job when you're doing that. Okay. And thank you so much, Andy. Now let's go with candidates. Okay. What is the definition for candidates, Carlos Resendiz? This one, candidates.
Mm,
Can you say it again? I don't know if you said something, but I didn't hear you.
okay. For candidates, people who work for a company.
People who work for a company. So you are a candidate. Do you work?
No, are trying.
Are trying to work, exactly. So in this case, people who are trying to work or are trying to get a job.
Work yet.
Exactly. So in this case, number 7 is the best definition for candidates. Okay, number 2, let's go with Garcia Gutierrez. Can you tell me what do you think career is? This one, career. What is the best definition for career?
It
Don't
Okay, listen. Yeah.
A document which describes your education and jobs you have done.
Okay, it could be, but listen, when you are talking about your career, sometimes we think that we are speaking about a university career. And no, that's not correct. Career are the jobs you do during your life, okay? Career is the jobs you do during your life. So teacher, so is that correct? Is correct to say career when we are talking about the school? No, it isn't correct. The word that you are looking for is major, okay? So major is the word that you're looking for, okay? Major is the degree that you are doing. Engineering, psychology degree, designer degree or something like that, okay? So that's your major. Your career is the jobs you have done throughout all your life, okay? So that's the difference. Career, it's when we are talking about work, and major when we are talking about school, okay? your professional career. That's the complete word.
Teacher,
Yes?
and degree?
Degree is the document, okay? Well, degree could be the document, or it could be, as you can say, the title. Okay, it isn't correct to say title, but just to understand you, to just so that you can understand it. The degree, it could be the document, or like the name of the major. Okay, for example, degree in law, degree in physics, no, etc., etc. Okay, so it's like engineer. It's the opposite of engineering, degree. So it could be the document or the opposite for engineering. Yes?
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Now we have knowledge. Let's go with knowledge. For example, let's take Ruiz Mina. Are you there? But you.
Yes, teacher. Now
Oh,
I
yeah.
can.
Now you can,
Sorry.
okay.
Okay, I think knowledge is number 6, the things you know from experience or study.
Exactly. Knowledge is the things you know from experience or study. Okay, that's knowledge. Knowledge are all the things that are in your mind. Okay, that you have gotten them from school or from experience. That's a knowledge. Knowledge is the things you know. Forgive the redundancy. Okay.
Conocimiento.
Okay. Yes. Try not to. Yes.
Maybe
That's
it's like
knowledge.
a skill.
It's like what?
A skill.
No.
Ability.
A skill, an ability, and a skill. It's a knowledge, but not every knowledge is a skill. Okay. But yeah, it could be knowledge. And number 4, there are 200 employees. Okay, what is employees, guys? In this case, what number could be employees?
Number 4, people who work for a company.
People who work for a company. Exactly. People who work for a company, that's employees. Okay, for example, you are, let's put an example. My friend Mariana is an employee, or is a Walmart employee. I don't know, okay, because Mariana is working for Walmart. Okay, very good. Now let's go with in charge of. This is a pretty useful expression actually, okay? So I really need you to know this expression, in charge of, in charge of. In charge of, what do you think is the definition?
Number 8.
Number 8, exactly. Responsible for something or someone. Okay, for example, if we were having face-to-face classes, I would be in charge of you, okay? Because I'm the teacher, so I'm responsible in a certain way for you, okay? Very good. Now, grades. Let's go with grades. What do you think grades are? Yeah, can you repeat that again?
Yes, the result of your exams.
Exactly. The results of your exams at school or university, okay? Or even in a course, English course, it could be in this English course, it could be your results. So your grades. That's why I always say to you guys, oh, I've already got your grades, guys. The results of your exams, okay? Now, okay, how would you say, or how would you describe CV?
Number 10, a
Document.
Number 10.
Exactly, a document which describes your education and the jobs. Very good, okay? And what is the other word to say CV?
Resume.
Resume. Very good. Resume. Okay. And then we have 6 business contacts. What do you think business contacts means? Or, well, what is the definition of it? Number 2 or number 9?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Exactly. People you know who might be able to help your career. Okay. In Mexico, we call it palacas, no? So in this case, in English, business contacts. Okay, and the last one,